Myself, Dr. Rashmi. This video will demonstrate few functionalities of Excel which is used in data analytics to analyze and visualize the data. We will going to demonstrate SUMIFS, AVERAGEIFS, COUNTIFS, IFS, index, match and unique functionalities of Excel. Sample data set is available in the description box of the video. Let's quickly get into the data set. Yeah, this is the data set considered. It is all about the workload hours of a particular college according to the subjects. It is having college ID, college name, subject, full workload, partial workload hours, total workload hours, and workload type, which is calculated using if function. Later on, the same workload type concept will be implemented using SUMIFS function or the alternative method. Fine. Before getting into the implementation of the functions, let's see how to use SUMIFS, AVERAGEIFS, COUNTIFS functionalities. Yeah, we will have a quick look up to the syntax. SUMIFS. Yeah, how this SUMIFS is used is, it need sum range, criteria range, and the corresponding criteria, which has to be applied on criteria range 1. This is how the syntax of a SUMIFS function to be implemented. We could see in a better way by considering the example. The first part is telling the F3 is to F40, F3 to F40. The first part is telling the sum range, and the second part is telling the criteria range, and third part is telling the corresponding criteria that has to be applied on criteria range on. Similarly, we have criteria range 2 and the corresponding criteria, which will be applied on criteria 2. The same similar syntax is followed for AVERAGEIFS also. It should have average range, then criteria range, then the corresponding criteria. If we have more than one criteria means, we need to have the corresponding criteria range and the corresponding criteria. Like that, we can add up the criterias in AVERAGEIFS, IFS, AVERAGEIFS, or in SUMIFS too. Okay, coming to the COUNTIF part, COUNTIF function. Yeah, here COUNTIF function is also going to have more than one criteria along with the corresponding criteria range. But the first part, which are seen in our SUMIFS or AVERAGEIFS functionalities, that is not required, as COUNTIF will just count the occurrences. So what all the criteria we need to add before counting, those many criteria we can add up. We can now apply the functions. Okay, first we will see how to apply SUMIFS. Now you can see I have considered a query where we are summing up total workload column. What it means, SUMIFS on total workload less than or equal to 5 and full workload means we have to sum up all the total workload hours all the total workload hours which is seen in F column, but before summing up the hours, two criteria has to be satisfied. The first criteria is total workload present in the column should be less than or equal to 5, and this value should contain only the full workload hours. Means it should not contain partial workload hours. Such cells has to be added up. Let's see the formula. Okay. For typing the formula, first we need to type equals SUMIFS tab. Your round brackets is automatically shown, and as we are going to implement formula on total workload column, it is present in F, that corresponding range is mentioned, then criteria has to be mentioned, less than or equal to 5, which is to be seen again in total workload column itself. So F3 colon F40 comma, type the criteria less than or equal to 5, and second criteria, what it was telling, should add up only the full workload hours. For this, what it means is it should not contain partial workload hours. So partial workload hours is present in E column. That's why we consider E column here, E3 to E40. Why E40 we are writing, or F40? It is, yeah, F40 is the 40th is the last column number, right? 40 is the last column number, 3 is the first column number, and the rows, yeah, first row is present in 3, last row is present in 40. The criteria should be now equal to 0. Click enter. We are seeing 28 as the result. Means 28 hours are satisfying the criteria. So only 28 hours are summed up. You can also see a number 146. What is this? 146 is the total workload hours. Total workload hours which are summed up from the F column, that is total workload column, which is having all the hours are being added up. So that is the number 146. Okay, what is this? Yeah, here only one, yeah, 86. 86 is the workload hours that satisfy one condition. This 28 is the result generated which satisfies two criteria, and 86 is the result generated by the cells that satisfy only one criteria, that is total workload less than or equal to 5. See these two formulas. In both the cells we have 86 as the result. In this cell we have the formula by using SUMIFS, and in the other cell we have the formula which is implemented using just SUMIF. SUMIF is used to implement one criteria, and SUMIFS is used to implement more than one criteria. So any one formula you can use if you have only one criteria. Next we will move on to AVERAGEIFS. AVERAGEIFS. So before itself we have seen the formulas are quite similar to SUMIFS. So we will start applying the formula. Select AVERAGEIFS, click tab, then implement the average range. You can see the range arguments that has to be implemented. It will be popping down. The first row is present in 3 and the last row is present in 40. So yeah, criteria range we have done. Next criteria we need to type. Second criteria is E32. Criteria range is E3 to E40 and the corresponding condition is if it is equal to 0 you could count, means that particular college is not having partial workload, so that we can find the sum or we can find the average, whatever we need. After typing the formula, click enter. Yeah, we are getting the average value. Next we will move on to COUNTIFS. This COUNTIFS will count the number of cells that satisfy the criteria. As IFS, COUNTIFS is considered here. We can give more than one criteria, that is the workload should be less than or equal to 5 and the workload should contain only full workload hours, not the other part. Quickly we will see the formula also. Yeah. Now type the criteria range and now the criteria part. Next type the other criteria. Close the brackets, click enter. Yeah, some error is there, we will see. Okay, now click enter. We are with the result 13. So 13 cells are satisfying the conditions. The same values you can see in the cells, selected cells also. Let's try to change the condition. I just implement equal to 5. Let's see what happens. Equal to 5. The result is 1. We can see many cells which are equal to 5, but the result is 1 because it should satisfy only both the criteria, not only the one criteria. Means the full workload should be the only value that has to be encountered in the total workload. Here we can see 5, but it is having partial workload also. These cells cannot be counted. See, here also we have 5, value 5 here, but it cannot be considered as we have partial workload. See, we have only one cell, only one cell here. Business management, only this cell is having workload 5 equal to 5, and this workload does not contain any partial workload hours. So the value is 1. Now we consider one more scenario of implementing COUNTIFS. Here the criteria is to count number of colleges. The criteria is to count number of colleges that offer particular subject, means the number of colleges that offers Arabic, or count number of colleges that offers biochemistry, or else the colleges that offer business management has to be counted. This is our first criteria, and while counting the colleges, we need to consider one more criteria, that is the corresponding workload hours should be less than 5. The college should offer Arabic subject, as well as the total workload should be less than 5. Only such colleges has to be counted. Similarly, for biochemistry, count the number of colleges that offer biochemistry, and also the workload hours should be less than 5 hours. Only such colleges has to be counted. For this, as we have considered 3 different subjects, we need to select all the corresponding cells, but as we need to implement the formula in the cells, we need to select our cells by using fill handle cursor. After doing the selection, go to the formula bar, type the formula COUNTIFS, press tab space. Next, type the first criteria range with its corresponding criteria. So our first criteria could be it is related to subject. Our subject is present in C column, C3 to C14, comma. What is the criteria? The criteria is present in K column, K29 to K31. And second criteria range is total workload hours, which is present in F column. It should be less than 5. Close the brackets. As the formula should be implemented to more than one cell, press Ctrl Enter. Okay, we will see the criteria. First criteria range, it begins from K11 to K13. We will change here K11 to K13. Now the same formula you apply for the other cells. Arabic is offered by one college whose workload is less than or equal to, no, we have considered less than 5, so that criteria is satisfied. Biochemistry is offered by 5 colleges whose workload should be less than 5, and business management is offered by 10 colleges. Also see this column, it is also giving the similar values, but the first column cells have used COUNTIFS formula and the second one is using COUNTIFS formula. You can see the difference here in biochemistry subject. The first cell has just counting. It is just counting number of colleges that offer biochemistry, and it is not checking whether the total workload hours is less than 5. So its count is 7. Here its count is 5 because it is checking one more criteria. That's all. Fine. We will cross check with the biochemistry subject. We will go back to the data set. These are the colleges. You can see till the last row. Yeah, only these many colleges are offering biochemistry. We have totally 7 colleges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colleges we have. But why the value is 5? As here the total workload is greater than 5 and total workload is equal to 5. So these two cells are not counted in the second part, in the second formula, that is using COUNTIFS, as it was having 2 criteria. Got the difference? Next we will see how to use IFS functionality in Excel. This IFS function is used to implement more than one logical test in a single formula. Around 127 logical tests can be covered up in a single formula. A logical test followed by the value 1, like if logical test 1 becomes true, what should be done is specified in value 1. Like this, more than one logical test can be implemented. This functionality can be used in higher versions of Office 2016 or 360. In lower versions also we can implement the same concept by using nested if functionality. This you can see in the example specified. This is how we will nest our if function. We will try to implement the same nested if function in our data set. We will implement this nested if function to our workload column. We will try to create 3 criteria, 3 categories of workload we will try to create. For this, select the cells of the column for which formula has to be applied. Entire column I will select, go to the formula bar, type the formula. If, as we are implementing for total workload column, our column will be F. Greater than or equal to 10 will be one category, and if this satisfies, it should display high workload And next, for applying the other criterias, we need to nest it. So one more if condition we will use. Criteria you type greater than or equal to 5. If this becomes true, display medium workload. If this condition doesn't satisfy, display less workload. Close both the ifs, the nested one and the outer if. After this, control enter. Yeah, so here our criterias are the first group. We have one group whose workload should be greater than or equal to 10 hours and it should have high workload. If this satisfies, it should display high workload, or else come to the second criteria. If the workload is greater than or equal to 5, display medium workload. If this criteria becomes false, the third criteria, that particular workload belongs to third criteria. So this is how we can replace ifs function by using nested if functionality. Next we will see what index function will do, match function will do, and unique function will do. Our index function, what it do? Yeah, it will return the content of the cell specified by the row and column offset. Means a particular cell content will be returned by using index function. See the example. In the first part, a range is mentioned. This is known as reference range. In this reference range, second part is telling the row, in which row the value or the content has to be searched, and the third part is telling the column value, in which column the content has to be searched. So this could be, the reference range could be one column or more than one columns. In the considered example, we have one column. Fine. Next we will see what match function will do. Yeah, match function returns the location of the value in the range and not the actual data. Remember, match function will return the location. A particular location will be returned as the result, not the actual data, whereas index function will return the actual data or the content present in the particular cell, but match function will return the location of a range, not the actual data. See the syntax. In match function, we need to specify the search key, and the search key has to be searched in which range, that is mentioned in the second part, and the third part is the search type, whether the search has to be done as a exact match or less than match or as greater than match. You can see the example. where search key is present in a particular cell. So some cell name is mentioned here. This search key has to be searched in the reference range, which is present in the second part, and third one is 0, means we need to do our match as a exact match. 0 represents exact match. Next we will move on to unique function. How it works, what is the use? If any column is having duplicate values or repetition of the values, for counting it's not needed in few cases. So in that case, if unique function is applied, only the distinct values will be listed out, so that if the data set is huge, in the overall huge data set, what are the unique or distinct values of a particular column could be found. This function is also implemented in the higher Office versions. So in the older versions, we have a built-in feature to implement this, but by using this feature, we should be little careful, as it will replace the original data. The original data is replaced by the result generated from the feature. You can see here the alternative method is shown in the example, but does not apply to the a warning is given here, but do not apply for the original data set, as cannot recover the original data later. So our suggestion is to make a copy of the column and try to implement the feature. We will go back to the data set. We will try to implement index match functions individually, and later we will combine index and match functions together in a single formula, and we'll see how powerful it becomes. It could replace the functionalities that could be generated or seen by using VLOOK. It becomes more powerful than VLOOK function of Excel. Now we will see how to implement index function. Okay, so index function, to implement this, we are going to consider a criteria here. Use index function to find contents of a particular location, and our particular location is total workload column, that is F column, and that find the value at row 5 and column 7, as this total workload column is the 7th column. Fine, we will see the formula now. Equals index tab space, workload column is the F column, so F3 to F40, then as we have already specified the row number and column number, I will write this, type, after typing press enter. Yeah, why the result is 7? Even though our column, this column is 7th column, we are typing as 1 as our reference range is having only one column. In the reference range, total workload column is our first column, so it is mentioned as 1, and in that first column you need to go to the particular row, that is 5th row. What is the value? We will see. You press enter. Yeah, you got the value 7. Okay, we will go back to the data set and we will try to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our row. 5th row, first column is having the value 7. So we are seeing the value 7. Next, we will see how to implement match function. So to implement match function, we need to have the search key. Here we are going to consider our search key is the specific subject. So we need to find the location of a particular subject. Fine. Okay, we will try to implement the formula of a particular subject. Here I am typing the search key directly, Arabic, and after search key we need to specify the reference where it has to be searched. So it should be searched in the subject column, which is C, and how the search has to be performed. It should be a exact match. 1. We will check why 1. 1 means the Arabic subject is present in the location 1. It seems we will check in the column C. Yeah, in the first location it is present. Now we will try to type like this and see what happens. Let's enter. Even though the search key is having lowercase a, it could find the search. Means the search key is not case sensitive. Whatever could be the cases, it will search the key. Next, we will try to search one more subject. Biochemistry we will search. Come to the end and type enter. What is the value? 2. So it is showing the location 2. Yeah, biochemistry is present in 2 as well as in other locations also. See, but if we have more than one match to the search key, the first match that occurs in the range will be displayed. So the value is 2 here. Similarly, we will try to apply to the another criteria. Here we will take college code as the search key. Okay, match college code is present in column A. Before that, we need to specify college code, that is the search key. As it is a number, we can directly type with outside the no need of double quotations. Type the range. Now click enter. It is giving the location 3 for the college code 5. We will check. Yeah, location 3. This is how you can implement index and match functionalities. Next, we'll see how to combine our index function as well as match function in a single formula. For this, we will consider a scenario to find workload of a particular subject. Workload of a particular subject of a particular college. This is our scenario or the criteria that is considered to implement both the formulas. First, we will see the implementation of this query. That scenario is already been implemented. What is the scenario? Find the total workload. Yeah, total workload of a particular subject. We have 3 columns. First column will tell the specific or the particular college, and second column, second cell is telling the particular subject that is selected, and the third one is telling the total workload that is calculated. Fine. This college is selected from the dynamic drop-downs. Next, we will see how to create dynamic drop-downs. First, we will see how it is working. Yeah, here college ID 72 is selected from the drop-down. See, again, I will take another college. Yeah, 6 I will take. In college ID 6, for the subject biochemistry, what is the workload? 5. And what is the total workload of the biochemistry subject is also seen here, which is also being calculated dynamically. We will see it in few minutes. Yeah, in 18 hours, college number 6, college ID 6 is having the workload 5 for the subject biochemistry. You can also see the total workload of a particular college. The total workload of the college 6 is 12, and the total workload of a particular subject is 18. What is this column is giving? Yeah, subject workload of a particular college. Our subject is biochemistry and the college considered is 6. So biochemistry is having 5 hours of workload in college 6. Next, we will select another college. Yeah, I will take this college, and why this value occurs means if the selected subject is not present in the particular college, this value can see. We will select other subject. Yeah, one we can find, one we can see. Means 1 hour is allotted for the subject Arabic, Of course, Arabic is only the subject that is offered by only one college, so it is having only 1 hour of workload. We will take one more college, one more subject. Yeah, you could see the changes. Fine. Now we will see how to implement dynamic drop-downs. How we can create these drop-downs we will create here. We will go to data tabs. From home tab, we will go to data tabs. Data validations. In data validations, click this. Click list. You need to list the colleges. So go to the A column. Select the entire column. Click OK. You can see all the college IDs, which is done in the cell J25. Next, we will try to list all the subjects. For this also, go to Data tab, Data Validation, select Lists, select the column range. Subjects is present in C column. Click OK. Yeah, you can see the subjects. Now we will try to implement the formula. That is how we can combine index and match formulas in a single formula. Click tab space A22 H40. We have A to H columns. All the columns are selected here. Now type the match function. J25 J26 comma A22 A40 and subjects are present in C. The match we need is exact match. Yeah. Now, please remember, you click Ctrl Shift Enter. We will select the other college ID. Yeah, we are getting 1. We will go for the other subject, Arabic. It is giving the workload, subject workload 1. We will go for the college ID 6, biochemistry. It is having the workload 1 in the college. In the data set, we will see, yeah, college ID 6, biochemistry. What is the workload? We will see college ID 6, biochemistry. Yes, the workload is 5, college ID 6, and here also we are getting 5. So this is how you can implement index and match function in a single formula. And remember, while using match function to a set of values, to an array of values, you need to use Control Shift Enter instead of Enter to consider to apply the match formula for the entire set of values you have selected. You can see here, whereas for index, that is automatically done. See, you can see the note here. Use Control Shift Enter to manually consider set of values as array, especially needed for match function. So after typing the formula, please enter Control Shift Enter instead of just enter. Please remember, after typing the formula, you should click Control Shift Enter instead of Enter key. If this is done properly, a pair of flower brackets you can see here, right? Okay. Now we will see how this total subject workload and total college workloads are generated. This is done by just simple SUMIFS function. So we need to know the total subject workload. Workload is present in column F. Subjects are present in column E, and we need to know the particular subject which is present in this cell. So we have written L26. That's it. Similarly, for total workload of the college is also calculated in this way. If you need to consider integer values, the cell name has to be enclosed within value function. So you can see the difference of applying the criteria. Yeah, you saw, right? Next, we will see how to use unique function. Already you know unique function is only applied in higher versions. So in the lower versions, what we will do is we will select a column which is having repeated values. We will go for the subject column. We will select all the values. We don't know how many unique values are there, so the entire column we will select, we will paste here. And for this, now we will apply remove duplications. Yeah, in data tab itself, you will be having remove duplications feature. Click on this. Select continue with the current selection. Remove duplicates, you select, click OK. Okay, yeah, you have only these many values. Only 4 unique values are present in the entire C column. So this is how you can find the unique values of a particular column.